You actually said during the hearing, that comment which got sort of widely circulated,
Yes.
that you said that the Places of Worship Act doesn't prevent determining the character, the religious character of a place. It only prevents you from changing it. And will that determination of character violate the spirit of the act? If I can just finish the question. And the sort of counter to that from those who've weighed in on this is that a couple of counters. The first is that what is the purpose of determining religious character? If not, then to change it. If you can't change it, then what you end up with is a recipe for hate, for resentment, and even for violence, which is what subsequently has happened. You have now 17 suits filed all over the country. Sambal has erupted in violence. So that's the first sort of concern, that just by simply saying you can investigate the character, the floodgates have been opened.
Now, undoubtedly, through the ages, worship has taken place in the cellar also of the Gyanvapi Mosque.
Yes.
That is undisputed. The Muslim side has always permitted worship in the cellar of the mosque. There is worship which is going on. Now, if that is so,
yes.
Can you say that despite the fact that worship is going on in the cellar to the Hindu deities there, that the question as to what should be the religious character of that particular place of worship is a closed issue? How can you say that? You can't say that. And therefore, by the way, one more thing which I wanted to say.
But then,
that comment, just give me 1 second.
Yes.
The comment which I made, Vasu, was a comment which was in the nature of a question to one of the council. It does not form a part of the order. It's a question for dialogue. It is a question for discussion. Now, every time a judge says something in the court, doesn't mean that postulates a final judgment of the court.
Right.
It doesn't postulate necessarily which way the case will be decided in the future. But if you prevent judges from asking questions, from raising issues, which should be confronted by both the sides in the matter of eliciting the truth.
No, but you're saying
somebody, for instance, you may find or you may believe that that question was uncalled for, or that question is wrong as a postulate.
Yeah.
But the fact of the matter is, judges ask questions during the course of the conversation in the court.
It wasn't just the question, it was also the fact that then subsequently the survey was allowed. But I want to come back to what you said.
No, not subsequently. The survey had already been allowed and the survey had already taken place.
No, as in when it came to the Supreme Court, there was no bar on the survey.
No, there was a survey which had been directed.
That was the initial survey.
The survey had taken place, the survey had been allowed, and the question was whether a lid should be placed on the survey which has been carried out. Now, the fact of the matter, therefore, is that if you have a situation, where in a place of worship, you have the Muslims who are praying, a part of the cellar is today also used for Hindu worship, and which is undisputed. We have also passed an interim order, the result of which is that prayer and worship in the mosque will be permitted to be carried out by the collector, undisturbed. And the collector was directed to ensure that worship will not be affected.
But I'm saying, if I can now come in.
If the Hindu side is carrying out worship, that must also continue. And well, that has been continuing peacefully over the last several years. And I don't see what's wrong with that.
No, I'm saying the problem is that, of course, there could be places of worship which may have this element where it is a mosque and there is some Hindu prayer and so on and so forth.
Right.
But that doesn't necessarily mean, because if one then starts reopening all of those cases, then what's the point of the Places of Worship Act? I thought the Places of Worship Act was that even if something like Gyanvapi, which has been a mosque for 3 centuries, and I don't think anyone has ever doubted that it's not a mosque, right? There might be the possibility that historically,
I don't think
some Hindu prayer, but that doesn't change its character.
That may be your view. I don't think that's correct. For the reason
you think that even the character of a mosque like Gyanvapi is open for this interpretation.
The fact that there is worship in the mosque is something which has not been disputed, and that has in fact been preserved in terms of the interim directions of the court. The fact that there is worship to Hindu idols in the cellar is also undisputed. So what would you like us to do? Selectively shut your eyes to the fact that there is Hindu worship which is going on in a part of the structure and only go by the structure of the mosque, sorry. The Supreme Court is a court for all religions. We have to ensure that we draw a degree
No,
of
I
balance
was-
between all